Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I know this is long overdue, but it's time for an update of my $5,000 Land Rover LR4. I've been driving it for the past 7 months, I think, and I've driven it well over 5,000 miles, and it's due time for an update. Long story short, I've been impressed. This vehicle's been reliable, knock on wood. It's been fun to drive, very surprisingly. It's been capable in all kinds of situations. I've taken it off-roading, I've towed with it, I had a lot of passengers, I've taken it in the snow, and it's performed like a champ. And there's just something so amazing about experiencing a luxury British off-roading SUV, the Land Rover right here. So those have been my positives, and there's a lot more positives we'll probably get into as the video goes on. Negatives, fuel economy. Oh my god, this thing drinks so much fuel. This 5-liter V8 with 375 horsepower, this thing drinks fuel like there's no tomorrow. I've been spending a lot of money on fuel. Some cons, so when I'm filling up, oftentimes some gas stations, if the nozzle is longer than normal, Costco is fine because the nozzle is a little shorter, but I feel like it's always cutting out and always like maxing out, and I have to like pump it like 50 times just to get one tank in. So some people say that might be the evap canister. I'm not sure, I'll have to take a look at that, but that's one issue I'm facing. Another is the RPMs. So sometimes when I'm driving at like 60-70 miles an hour, just at a steady speed, the RPMs fluctuate like 100 or 200 RPMs plus minus. So I'm not sure what that is. I tried a transmission fluid flush. I feel like that made a little bit of difference but didn't fix it. So those are the two kind of main issues, along with the fuel economy. And I guess the fourth one is just the subtle anxiety. I mean, no matter how reliable and how capable it is a Land Rover. So I do sometimes have that subtle anxiety of, just hoping that everything functions well. Because in these vehicles, if something does break, it's expensive. But so far, as a daily driver, this thing's been amazing. I still cannot believe that a vehicle this capable, this luxurious, this appealing, that this could be for $5,000. Wow. Oh yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? The 5-liter V8. I think this similar engine was used in the Jaguar F-Type, but I can be wrong. This interior is held up very well. Look at the seats. For 183,000 miles, this interior is honestly very good condition. So everything's pretty much soft touch on the doors, except this lower piece. This is leather. This is very soft. I love resting my arm in here. Very wide space to put your arm. It's got a 17 speaker Harman Kardon Logic sound system. We've got front and rear fog lights, power steering wheel, and just loaded with features. I have Bluetooth for the phone and music. This is what it looks like on startup. You get that little Land Rover LR4 over there. And when we come over here, the only kind of blemish we see is this fading start-stop button and this little crack right here. But other than that, you can't even tell the age and mileage of this vehicle. The dash is leather top. So this is the HSE LUX. So this is pretty much the highest trim. So it has a leather dash. It has the upgraded sound system. And then we have a fridge in here. And I've used that for some drinks while on my road trip to Canada. And this works pretty amazing. One thing I love is the off-road modes, but functions amazing. And just a very nice interior. I've got two kind of glove boxes, one there and the lower one here. There you go. And just very spacious. Now I got one moonroof or sunroof here that actually opens, and then I got two more at the back that don't slide, but just the shade opens. let's take a look at the back and see the seating configurations that you can see here. So as we come into the back, here's what you can do with the second row. So there's 3 modes. You can either have it fully seated, you can put the backrest down to keep it elevated like this, or you can pull the string down here and bring it all the way down. So this is for the backrest, this is for the bottom to bring it down, and these are the 3 levels. So you can have it fully flat, and trust me, you can haul a lot of stuff here. This is what the back seat looks like. So I can either be like this with the headrest flipped up, and it's pretty spacious actually if you look at it. You've also got a nice place to put your feet, and you've got nice little cubbies. Not little, I'd say it's pretty big. And then cup rest, cup holder, and then you got your own kind of sunroof back here. And then if you don't want the seat, you can lay this fully flat. So very practical. And then one of my favorite features is this split tailgate. I actually love this. So what you can do is you press the button here, you drop it down, and look at the opening. It's huge. Honestly, you could put like a double or almost queen size mattress or airbed in here. That's how big it is. Very, very spacious, especially with this raised roof height. If you can see, part of the rear compartment is raised, and then when you're inside, you definitely feel all that space. And yeah, over here, I just love sitting here when you're like tailgating. It's very supportive of your weight. I love these tail lights. You got LED tail lights, and aesthetically it's a nice vehicle. This HSE LUX comes with upgraded rims and pretty nice, very elegant, classy color combo as well. Let's take it for a drive. Oh, it's starting to rain. Good time. One of my favorite things about this Land Rover is the driving position. I can see the entire hood. I can see pretty much down as close to me as possible. I got a nice kind of padded armrest to the left, and I've got this adjustable armrest to the right. And I'm telling you, especially on long trips, this is just surreal to have. When I took it to Canada, I drove, I think, about 13 hours straight. And if you add in the seat and the sound system and features and comfort and visibility and power and everything, I'll tell you, I felt like that was one of the most enjoyable drives I've done. Just surreal. So one thing you do notice of this vehicle is how heavy it is. It is pretty heavy. On the brakes, I'm sometimes hesitant because you feel all the weight and you feel like you're gonna warp the brakes if you kind of give it too much. In terms of steering, I love the padded steering wheel, and when you take the actual steering feel and response, it's very assisted and it's needed. The vehicle's weight is not really felt in the steering, it's more so felt in the brakes. Now let's talk about owning old 10 plus year old Land Rover LR4. Would I recommend it? I don't know, honestly. I do own one, and I feel like I've lucked out on the LR4 I got. You know, knock on wood, it continues to stay this reliable and safe and fun and enjoyable for myself and potential future owners to come. But are all like this? I don't know. This one's been taken care of. So if you are in the market, I'd recommend just being very due diligent in the service history, in the maintenance. Also, if you're looking at anything that's has a 5-liter V8 but is a non-2013 or late 2012 model, be very careful because those engines have the plastic timing chain tensioners, and those things are known to fail. And when it fails, it is expensive to fix. It probably costs $7,000 to $10,000 just to source and install an engine, and there's not many out there. The 2013 is claimed to be much more reliable, not 100% safe from this issue, what I hear, but very rare that this engine faces that similar issue. But again, with wear and tear, you never know. A lot of people say electrics are an issue with Land Rovers. Honestly, I haven't really experienced that. Other than the one or two times the backup camera failed to come on when I put it into reverse. But when I put it back into park and then in reverse, it came on. But other than that, everything's worked for me. All the features, heated seats, it has heated steering wheel, heated windshield. Everything's worked, and using this vehicle in the winter has been a dream. Oh my god, this thing starts, the seats heat up quick, the steering wheel heats up quick, and you're just enjoying being in this kind of atmosphere. So yeah, if you're looking for a Land Rover, in reliability, that's something, do your due diligence, do a lot of research. But when it comes to driving experience and overall wear and tear and how it drives, this does not feel like it's an old, 12-year-old 183,000 mile SUV. No, I think it feels very close to new. It drives very close to new, and it also looks very close to new. This design's aged very well. If you look at the new Defender, it looks very similar to this. So I feel like the new Discovery is less of an evolution, and the Defender is more of an evolution from this LR4, and that's probably controversial, but I do believe that this is really one of the last kind of rugged, very off-road, kind of heavy-duty LR4s, Discoveries. So yeah, that is my 5,000 mile. Wait, as I'm talking, there's a Defender just passing me right now. Damn, those look pretty good. I'd love to try out one of those. I've always been into the sportier Land Rovers, the more luxurious ones, like the Range Rover and the Range Rover Sport. But ever since I've been driving this and, been seeing the Discovery on the road, I'm kind of fascinated by the more boxy, old school, very rugged, meant to do their job kind of Land Rovers. And I've never had a Land Rover. I've always aspired to own one. And this has been a great start into the Land Rover journey. And I've been enjoying it so far. And this is a dangerous thing to say, knowing Land Rover's reputation and reliability. But I am very curious for more. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. I got a surprise vehicle coming soon. Kind of a surprise, but stay tuned for that. Thank you. Bye.